Hello and welcome to Speed Gaming for this Group H race in the Link to the Past randomizer main tournament between P-Train and Seb. We have an 80 keys with Bootsy today. Should be a great time. I am joined on commentary by Quizbowl. Hi Quizbowl, how are you?
Howdy, howdy, doing great. How about you?
I'm good. Looking forward to this great race. And actually, this is my first time doing main tournament, so I'm really excited.
Yeah. No, this is going to be a pretty good race. P-Train, been around the community for quite some time. So I think, done a lot of stuff with the Go Mode Mentor Tournament as well. So looking forward. Haven't seen Seb before, so this will be a new experience, but I think it's going to be great. We got P-Train is 2-2 in his group, and Seb unfortunately has not had a race yet, so 0-0, looking to put a win on the board today.
Yeah, we're time-wise, we're about halfway through the time limit for the round robin for main tournament for the tournament, so we've got plenty of time to get his races in against everybody. But yeah, I've seen Seb maybe once. So yeah, so I've seen him, but yeah, I'm obviously P-Train, very established runner. So it should be very good. So here we go.
All right, looks like we're off. Already we got some divergence here, and wow, look at that. Seb picking up a sword there in the Sanctuary, and the Bomb Post Battalion in Link's house.
Yeah. Yeah, with this 80 keys, it's been interesting to see the different divergence. It looks like P-Train is headed to Eastern right away to grab those checks, while Seb is doing a more traditional boots open.
Yeah, P-Train spying a small key there on Lake Hylia Island, so may or may not be important, depending on which key that is. So we'll have to wait and see until we get Flippers, Mirror, Dark World Access, all that stuff going on.
Green Pendant is Tower of Hera today.
Well, it's just as well. We got the small key to the Tower of Hera, so we can at least see what's in the basement as soon as we get a fire source.
And that was just a compass there on Lumberjack Ledge, so we will not be seeing that. And these runners will know that they're able to route Ega 1 as their more than likely will be their last dungeon. As long as
yeah, it's always a good feeling. Yeah. All right, we got P-Train retracing Seb's footsteps here as Seb makes some headway here, picking up a key in this drop down to Skull Woods.
All right, always nice to have one of those for routing purposes. Don't really need more than that, but
yeah, I tell you where it really makes a lot of difference is in the cross hunt mode that we have going on, because the back of Skull Woods is always a different location than the main Skull Woods. Sometimes you can get away without a key in Skull Woods because you can pick up one under a skull pot just nearby, but still always good to be able to have an extra.
yes. Yeah, and the cross hunt's always interesting to see where the drop downs, what holes they lead you to, because that makes a big difference too in whether or not you'll need those keys. Swamp Palace, he's all right, 300. All right, so we can get bombs, get bottle vendor money.
Ice Compass, not a ton of value other than a big boatload of rupees. And a few more to boot.
Since P-Train did the tier 1 tree pull there, and it was bombs, so he is actually doing better on bombs right now. It's going to make routing CAC a little bit easier for him. You won't have to worry about bombs at all.
Yep, and there's our first of 6 pod small keys there. Got to keep an eye on how many of those you have. I think the real big breakpoints are 2 and 4 in this mode, but it lets you get some stuff. Ooh, mirror! Look at that.
Yeah, so no worrying about death warping So if we find, you know, uh, blue mail or red mail early, don't have to really worry about it with that mirror.
Nice little refund there from the bottle merchant, just $20.
Besides that mirror, not really seeing anything else of interest here in CAC yet.
Yep, we just got a couple more things before we really need to start exploring other areas. Now we got the sword. We both runners having the sword now, so we could do the escape at this point. A few items back there, but really it's up to the runners to figure out what they want to do next.
Yeah. And with Back for Escape, it's not technically in logic until we find that key, but obviously that won't stop these runners from heading back there anyway and doing what they can.
Mm-hmm.
And also with Uncle, neither one has even headed that way, so we don't know if there's something on Uncle.
Well, we're definitely going to be leaving that compass in the library well enough alone. Compass is not doing too much for us in this mode, just giving us an item count when we get into our dungeons, which these runners know how many items are in each dungeon. We don't need that.
And the only advantage of the maps is so that they can possibly see where their red crystals are before they talk to the bomb vendor. But
Oh, here we go. We got a glove there at the Race King, so a little bit more progression.
So now we can cheat our way up the mountain.
Yeah, Mountain's only going to offer us a couple of checks, just the old man, and then we can peek what's on the Spectacle Rock ledge and then get inside Spectacle Rock. So they may be holding off. Our runners may be holding off here a little bit until they can get over on East Side where all the real value is on Death Mountain.
But as expected, Seb is heading to check the back of Escape, but now that glove puts us in logic.
Ooh, small key to Swamp. That's one of the big choke points in AD keys.
Yeah, that is one of the AD keys Ice Rod hunts, so it's good to get that out of the way.
Yeah, you start talking about ice rods, you're thinking Swamp Smalls one. The 2 Castle Tower Smalls are generally ice rod hunts. What else? Probably the Ganon's Tower Big Key would be another big one.
Yeah,
and of course the ice rod would be an ice rod hunt because
yes.
you are beating Trinex in this mode.
It sounds about right. We typically say there's 4 or 5 ice rod hunts in this mode. I think that hits all of the big ones. Got our first big key, which was just Skullwood, so good for an item check, but not really necessary beyond that.
Yeah, it's always disappointing when you see that big key pop up and you're like, oh good, progression. Oh, it's the Skullwoods one. Got the Uncle coming up on P-Train side while Seb's over here in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Nice bomb toss there to get the 2 on left side.
Get some bombs returned. Meanwhile, Uncle didn't have much. Oh, the flippers over there on Seb's side.
Alright, so I wonder what's in Zora area for us then, since Zora's area fully in logic now.
Yep, none of that. We got the 500 rupees, and so we can go buy the item too. We can take care of that whole loop while we're up there. All right. Well, we got P-Train going to the Zelda Cells rescue sequence here to get a few more items.
Game giving us lots of love early on.
We see Seb over there setting up a water walk just to make things a little bit faster when we dive into the water here. Nice little time save. You can dive into the water diagonally and save your water walk for the waterfall. There we go.
He spies that small key on Hylia Island.
Yeah, we almost have what we need. We just need a way to get into the dark world, and we can actually go pick that up because we've got flippers and mirror.
Yeah. I wonder if either runner will kind of prioritize that, since the game seems to be saying, hey, this is going to be necessary.
And just some more health there at the back of in Zelda's cell.
Alright, so
Oh,
P-Train
P-Train.
headed to Dark Cross in the dark.
Well, we got Seb up here just taking care of the Zora area. Let's see what we got over here in the fairy fountain. Just some money and another big key. This one to Turtle Rock.
Okay, so good to start collecting those big keys. Hopefully for these runners, Turtle Rock is later in logic, but we shall see.
Let's see, and I did miss. Seb peeked what was on that that ledge there. Let's see if we can catch
Just a
them.
red ruby.
Just a red ruby. So let's see what the big fish has for us. Oh, there's some progression. The flute. So now we've got some ways to zip around here, and of course, definitely required because we're going to need to get to Misery Mire somehow.
So that does put the mountain fully in logic, except for Gary. So we have our, even though we're missing a fire source for Herod Basement, we do have that small key already.
Yeah, so if you go up the mountain now, you're basically, in logic, only able to get what's inside Spectacle Rock, and then you've got just the 2 items that are immediately available in Tower of Hera. So
yeah, inside Spec Rock, on top of Spec Rock, and then the 2 in Hera. So
that's right, on top of Spec Rock too, we can get that. Let's see what Seb does with this. We are going up the mountain.
like this play, Seb has done pretty much everything else, except for the eastern area. He knows that he has those checks, but this, flute definitely makes the mountain very tempting. So not a surprise here at all.
Yeah, and of course you can always just flute back to whatever you're missing if this doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
Alright, meanwhile, P-Train doing the South Shore to Ice Rock Cave will likely finish with his flute here in just a little bit. Oh, those truly
Dang,
dead rocks.
Dead rocks.
Like, that was literally 3 pixels away from being able to turn in and get that big key.
Just going to get that health refill, getting Dead Rock down to 1 heart, so...
Yeah, so we got the dead rocks, you got the boulders, going everywhere. Oh, good grief. Trying to set up a spin speed back down to 1 heart. That's just, that's always how it goes. It's like you get a dead rock a combo into a boulder, and it just cascades from there. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that boulder killed his spin speed there, so...
Oh, that's value. So we saw the moon pearl right there.
Yeah,
on the ledge, but we're not getting it yet. So I'm thinking maybe.
I actually like this play from Seb. He knows that he only can do really 2 checks in Hera, and walking to get that moon pearl and then walking back out can be a little bit of a time waster if he knows that he's just going to grab these and then pick that moon pearl up and save and quit out. So I love the bobblehead Link Bright when he's swimming and it's just his head. He can't be anything else.
I didn't even realize that's what was going on there. It's like, it looks kind of odd, but. So we got a second sword there in Tower of Hera, so that's going to give us definitely some firepower. But until we have something like the book or the or the lamp, nothing else really comes from getting a second sword at this point.
No. And we're definitely starting to run out of checks here. So it looks like progression may be actually inside Eastern.
Yeah, that's the only thing we haven't seen amongst these two runners. So yeah, Seb going this way will be doing the Hyrule Castle loop.
All right, P-Train headed to pick up his flute.
Oh yeah, chat pointing out something else we didn't consider. You can technically get to the very first chest of the castle tower with that second sword, so that does open up one additional check, which it's all it takes is one for it to be like your hammer or your mitts. So
Yeah, that comment from Sakuri, who's one of our trackers today. Big shout out to Sakuri and Fishing Boo for pushing all the buttons and keeping us honest today.
all right, P-Train got the flute. We're going to be dashing all the way back over here to activate that, so that way we can start moving around the world. We'll see if P-Train follows Seb's lead up the mountain, or if we blaze some new territory, maybe into Eastern.
Thank you, Fishing Boo. I had missed what was in Dark Cross when P-Train went, so that is a second pod small.
P-Train is coming to Eastern, so we're going to be seeing some new stuff on our side here.
So Seb walked out that door and then walked back in to set up his mirror warp. Looks like he probably will go and check that first check in Castle Tower before he heads to Eastern.
Yeah, Seb's been playing very heads up here, thinking about where is the best place for me to save and quit for each of these. Oh, look at that! That's the hook shot over there on P-Train's side. So that just opened up a good chunk of the mountain. So
Yeah, so P-Train, making the looks like the correct play here to head to Eastern. He'll be able to clear out East South Mountain the first time he heads up there. So
it's incredible, though, that P-Train's already on 8 hearts, and we're only 17 minutes into the seed. Very healthy seed so far.
yeah.
I think it's been all heart containers and maybe like 1 or 2 heart pieces.
Yeah, I think maybe we've seen, I don't know, 1 or 2, I think. Yeah, you're right. 3 at most. I don't think we've seen a full heart yet container from them, so.
And here's Seb
Alex,
making
this
the...
is all dungeons, but key sanity. This is not cross keys.
Oh, good grief, look at that. A vanilla castle tower key. So I'm immediately going to take that up the castle tower in the dark. No fire rod either, so we're just going to have to know our way through this maze here and see what we get in the second chest. And we have a big
key to pod.
To pod.
That is
all right.
an interesting find there. So
So yeah, like we were saying before, the two kind of key counts for pod is 2 and 4, and these runners have found 2. So with 2 keys, you can get to the back, see what's in the back, and then use the second one to complete it if you've got the big key. So just leaving a few items behind, especially if you do the hammer jump, you can route your way around and get a few items behind a locked door without spending an extra key. But we will need either a potion glitch or a bow for that.
Yeah. Alex, the difference between cross keys and key sanity is cross keys is entrance rando, and key sanity isn't. So all the keys in this mode are spread out everywhere. With they can find them anywhere they are, and they do have to do all dungeons here. So.
Yeah, in terms of the progression of rando difficulty, you've got the 3 modes, which is you got the open mode, which is kind of a 3 out of 10 in terms of randomization, and then we've got the key sanity, which is like a 6 out of 10, and then cross keys is like 27.
A 12 out of 10, yeah.
Yeah, it's you just turn you make everything random in cross keys. Train's trying to set up a bomb jump here. That looks good. Yep, it is.
Nice. I'm doing my best to learn that bomb jump. It's definitely a tricky one, that can save a lot of time if you can figure it out. So.
Yeah, I think I'm about 30% on it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so it's like you either get it or you fall into the pit of shame and you have to dash your way out. I guess the good news is in this mode we give the runners the boots, and so you are able to dash everywhere, which is good.
Yeah. All right, so Seb picking up his hook shot there. Interesting that P-Train, even on 8 Hearts, picked up that full heart container.
Yeah, I mean, you can never be too healthy, especially if you're still just on the green mail.
Yeah.
You gotta ask yourself, like, well, what are the odds that I'm going to be picking up, blue mail or red mail somewhere along the way? Well, here's another thing we didn't consider is that P-Train coming up here with the hook shot is going to use this Harapot glitch to make his way up the tower, pick up 1 extra item up here, which we see is a GT small.
Yeah, he'll pick up a second item here after he defeats Moldorm. Obviously, like not in logic without the big key, but with Harapotting logic is just a afterthought. I will say this is still one of my least favorite fights. Moldorm on fighter or even Master Sword can be very tricky.
Yeah, you definitely want to hit him with 3 spins with the Master Sword. So P-Train making it look easy around here for the Eastern, and then of course we knew before from our conversation with Saha that that's the green pendant. So gonna get a chance to turn that in later.
And with that flute, makes it a pretty easy turn in to just flute to 5. Use those boots to run over there. So
yeah, or if we do wind up getting Darkhold access, probably a pretty cool, easy thing to do would just be to start on your way over to Pod, and then mirror back right in front of Saha's house real quick.
Yep.
All right, so looks like we're about to get some convergence here. So P-Train and Seb going to East Side Death Mountain almost about the same time. P-Train getting there just a little bit before.
Oh, third sword already at 23 minutes.
Hey, I'm not going to say no to Tempered Sword at this time.
No, absolutely not. Map of Hera, thanks game.
Yep.
Meyer.
You already know.
Oh.
There we go. that hammer. That hammer is going to be our Dark World access. So I think P-Train is setting up for bomb jump. Probably going to be checking. We'll probably get a peek of the floating island here in just a moment, and then we'll see what's in the spiral cave.
Yeah. No point in orphaning that at this point. Yes, we've got Dark World access, but probably not going to be coming back up the mountain real soon. With everything else that we have available in the overworld once we get to the Dark World.
Yeah, at least not until we get those mitts. So it was just a piece of heart there on the floating island, so probably won't be coming back for that. Oh, there's that blue mail.
Slungly is asking if we'll see a rush to Skullwoods. We'll see if either runner chooses to check the front of Skullwoods for those items. A lot of runners consider the front of Skullwoods basically a Sphere 1 because it's so easy to get to. But we'll see what these runners decide today.
Yeah, I think usually you get that more with if mitts are your Dark World access because it's just right there. Since we had both, it was Hammer and Glove. We're coming here on the south side. We can go see Johnny Two Bombs over here. Got the secret handshake. Get the mapped mire. Got another map. Pod.
Another map.
it's the
most,
cave of maps.
Most worthless map in the game being Ganon's Tower.
Yep, definitely a map out of 10 hype cave today. Yeah, of course, P-Train's probably not ever going to look at his map. He's just going to talk to the bomb marches here and see that Ice and TR are the 556 crystals.
Okay. So that is all of the map knowledge that these runners care about, since we do have to do all dungeons.
P-Train remembering that small key. So let's see where that goes. It could be good, could be not. Turtle Rock. It's kind of like one of those mid-tier keys where you need a couple of them, but if you play Turtle Rock right, you can bypass one or two with it. Like definitely if you're going to be skipping that lava chest. Actually, yeah, that's me mincing modes. You do need 3 out of 4. That's right in straight up key sanity.
Yeah.
But if you're doing cross keys, you can actually get away with 1 in some cases.
We have Seb heading into Swamp. Oh, it looks like that's where P-Train is headed as well. So is in logic with the items that we have. We'll just be orphaning the big key chest at this point. You see some specky clips today.
Nicely done. So now the big question here is, do you do the left side, or do you leave it alone, just go straight to the back?
I imagine these runners will probably do left side, being so early in the seed.
Yeah, it's not until that's more of a if you're starting to feel behind kind of play. Although you could try and take that risk if you wanted to. So. Well, it looks like Seb is going to take that risk and go straight to the back, so that way we'll be orphaning 3 chests, the big chest and then the 2 left side chests, whereas P-Train will be checking those.
It'll be interesting to see if Seb decides to come back in. There's kind of a thought process about how you route this, if you do those checks first and then go to the back, or if you do like Seb is doing and go to the back and then come back in for left side. So
All right, now this is interesting here. P-Train has one bomb. And so has one chance to get this right. Oh,
Missed
no.
it. Oh no.
All right. So P-Train spent the key, and he was trying to get the key under the pot. And looks like, yeah, we're just mirroring back. So one thing that P-Train can do is pick up the key that we're skipping due to Specky Clip. Of course, picking up these skull pots here to get a couple extra bombs.
Got a nice fight there on subside. As he'll pick up the lamp.
The lamp.
And
All
his
right.
first crystal.
All right, so P-Train now rearmed with a small key is just going to forget about the key that was flooded over here and continue on to the left side.
I'm surprised more runners don't do that play to avoid the diver down here. Since they're not using that key at the start. Definitely something that I would do would be to grab that key and kind of save some time. It takes less time to grab that key than I think to do the diver down there. So
Yeah, definitely one of those things that's up to runner preference. I think me personally, if I only have bombs, and of course bombs being severely limited resources in these modes, I tend to save those for the second diver down. Oh, that is pretty big.
All right, so
The
P-Train
Titan's mitts.
Yeah, P-Train checking left side, paying out. Seb took that big risk with doing left side skip this early, and we'll see how long it takes him to get back there to get those mitts.
Yeah, it's really going to be a function of how long it takes for Seb to get walled without those Titan's mitts. I guess kind of the saving grace here is that there's a good chunk of the game that you can't get to without the Titan's mitts. So sooner or later, Seb's going to get forced back into Swamp. He's just not going to feel very good about it.
So we just had red boomerang there on the pyramid ledge, which Seb did go and grab.
All right, again, we're at one bomb here. This looks good, though. Yeah, there we go.
All right, so headed to check catfish. And
just some money.
A few rubies.
The terrain being a little trolly here, not letting Seb do the spin speed, the hook speed glitch there.
Yeah, but hook speed has not been kind to Seb this seed. He's getting hit by rocks and things like that. So
all right, P-Train finishing off the Argus fight here, getting that lamp over there. Meanwhile, we got Seb looking over here, King's Tomb area. So we're going to go with this and the Graveyard Ledge, kind of combo 1-2.
yeah. And we'll see if he heads to Skullwoods or if he heads to Village of Outcasts.
Ooh, there's our third Pod Small. So we might be heading to Pod sooner rather than later, especially now with that lamp in our possession.
So P-Train headed to the Mire area, pick up Mire Shed, get the Meyer knowledge about what we need to get in, and then oh, and that is just bombos.
Yep, and we got that in our back pocket already. It was just hiding in Link's house, so not a very long search for that.
One Meyer small. We do have the Meyer big as well. Obviously can't be beat without the cane, but besides that is fully clearable. So
Yeah, I mean there are 8 items in total over there in Meyer available, so 7 out of 8 ain't bad.
is that a small key that I spied on Bumper Ledge?
Yeah, small key there on Bumper Ledge. Another one of those where could be important, could not be important. You never know. It could be another one of the Skull Woods smalls, which wouldn't do too much for us because we already have one. Or it could be one of our ever important Castle Tower smalls, which we do need one more of those.
Oh, there's our GT big keys just sitting in the desert big chest.
Yeah, now there's one thing that we probably do need to address here is that Seb went ahead and dove into Castle Tower a little bit earlier and found the first Castle Tower small key in its vanilla location there. I'm not sure if P-Train's going to be finding that until much later in the seed because the entire seed is opening up to P-Train, and so it's going to be a hard sell to say, oh, let's go back to CT and see if we can find something. Only if we find the other Castle Tower small somewhere along the way will that probably come on to P-Train's mind.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate since that was the odd big key in that second chest. So I'm kind of keeping him away from pod for a little bit here as well. So alright, and that was our cane there in Skullwood. So that's gonna make Meyer clearable.
Okay, P-Train on Landmola's fight here. Unfortunately, we don't have any rods, so we're just going to have to do some tempered swordsman. Still pretty good method to get them down. Just might take a few cycles here. There we go.
That is P-Train's second crystal.
Yep, second crystal, third dungeon out of this all dungeons seed. We got Seb over here diving into Thieves Town. Without the big key, we're only going to be able to check the first 4 chests until you can see. Oh, there we go. We got a bow. Yeah, I think Pod's gonna have to is gonna be on Seb's mind now. So now we got bow, we got 3 small keys, we got the big key. That's likely going to be the next location that Seb checks out. Okay, big key to ice.
Okay.
And the accompanying rod to go with it.
So I'm unfortunately not able to get in there without those mitts, so
Yeah, that's one of the. I guess that's one of the unfortunate things is because we have other good options to explore at this point. That's just going to push Seb away from the nets, but once those options dry up, I think that'll push Seb back into the swamp.
Be a fun dig game. Just 5 digs for a full heart container, not bad.
Yeah, we're already on our second row of hearts now too, so very healthy seed indeed.
Gonna see K45 and Stumpy here.
So K45 not panning out. Oh, there we go. There's our fourth pod key.
So that's definitely gonna push Seb towards pod.
Yep, here we go. Number 5. Yep,
yeah.
We're going to pod. All right, P-Train getting the intel on that bumper ledge.
He's headed to these checks that we've seen on Seb's side.
Yeah, it looks like while Seb did the counterclockwise rotation there on Dark World, looks like P-Train's going to be going clockwise, and I wonder if this is actually going to end with him diving into pod after maybe checking the catfish.
Yeah, if he dives in now, definitely giving Seb some time back.
All right, now P-Train did jump off the ledge, and so if he's going to pod, he's got to flute there now. Which means P-Train will effectively be orphaning catfish. Oh, but yeah, that's right. P-Train did just pick up the red cane, and so I think, yeah, Meyer is more important in P-Train's mind, so we are...
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Meyer's fully clearable for P-Train at this point, so... to make sure that we are clearing the dungeons that we can, and hoping that we find the items to avoid double dipping.
Well, we see up there in the corner, even though P-Train has not opened the map, we see in the corner that this Meyer is one of the 2 remaining pendant dungeons. Okay, Seb opting to go straight to the back first, and then take care of Helmosaur, and then come back and check out all the goodies in the treasure chests.
Never a bad idea.
Yeah, it just keeps you from accidentally spending the key that you need to finish Helmosaur.
P-Train headed to cutscene chest here.
Yeah, a little awkward having to push a bunch of blocks out of the way, but I think he's doing it as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, we got Seb over here. Finished the turtle room. Heading over to the big one here at the back of pod.
Got those bombs out. Get some bomb hits to make it faster. Nice 2 bombs there.
Just a small shield there behind the cutscene chest. Two tempered spins, and Helmosaur goes down.
the compass leaves him nice powder find there on P-Train's side.
Yep, just means we can route the magic back in if we ever decide to do the Smith sequence. Maps, maps, and more maps. And a bug net. All right. So Seb now going to the rest of Pod. Gonna see what kind of treasures we can find in here. Yeah, so I was about to say something there. P-Train was dashed right by this last chest, so one of the things, just another heart, but, one of the cool things about not needing to find the big key to Mire in Mire is that you can just leave that chest there until the very end and then just hook shot over to it, so nice little tip, but you got to remember to stop and do it.
I almost wonder if he just went through that door just to give him that reset point. He knew he was going to fall off there, but...
Yeah, I mean, I haven't timed that out personally, but if that does wind up being faster, that's something I'll incorporate into my runs. I have to ask him about that at the interview.
Another ice small there on a sub side in Harmless Hellway.
Alright, getting ready for a hammer yump. The double pixel perfect setup here. Oh, I think we were just a pixel too high on that bomb placement. Meanwhile, we got P-Train over here on Vidi, showing off some very good NMG strats there. Since P-Train lacks the bow, is going to have to use the sword. I'm doing some nice sword spins to take care of the big eyeball.
Very nice Vidi fight there, and he is rewarded with, a fetch quest.
I have to go dig up some trouble now. Alright, but Seb gets the hammer yump.
Gets his first bottle.
Oh, that's how convenient. Just activate that mirror, and we're ready to make good use of that Eastern Palace big key. Of course, it's just another thing that keeps Seb away from those mitts over there on left side swamp.
Alright, so P-Train headed to the Village of Outcasts to get these checks. Imagine we'll see him do the first 4 of thieves. Like Seb did.
Yep, we'll pick up the bow there, and I'm sure that will push P-Train over to Pawn here sooner rather than later.
Be interesting to see where that second castle tower small is, because, like you said, with
Yeah,
could make or break this race for sure.
Yeah, that could be in some pretty trolly locations. You think about, it could be pretty much anywhere. I mean, you could have it show up in as far away as GT. I've seen that before in And the tile road GT. Very nice Armos fight there. Just some bombs, and then that's our last pendant. So now we've got our whole pendant crystal layout. And if P-Train takes the same approach as Seb, getting over there to Pod, finds the eastern big key, that'll be all 3 pendants for P-Train. So we might be seeing a blind ped pull in that case.
The pod big key is in Castle Tower, and the first Castle Tower small key is in its vanilla location. So it gives that second Castle Tower pretty much free. So I checked it early when he was kind of running out of checks, but P-Train routed it a little bit differently, and so has not actually gone to do that yet. So.
Hammer pegs here giving us. Well, I don't think we'll say no to a butter sword.
They're running out of checks, and he is headed back into swamp to head to left side. So he will pick up his mitts here.
Yeah, so then the big question is, what does Seb do from here? So he just picked up the mitts, opens up a good chunk of the world. Do we go immediately over to Meyer and check that area out, or do we try to dive into ice because we've got bombos and we've got some other stuff? But there's lots of options here.
Yeah, the world really opens up with what he has. So I have a feeling we'll head to Meyer just because he wants that knowledge more than anything.
Yeah, and while we were talking about that, one thing we just missed is we just picked up the fire rod on the magic bat.
Oh, indeed. So
I was about to say when we were back in Meyer, one of the kind of the interesting things about a Meyer is that it's one of those. It always seems to do fire-locked fire, and I was so disappointed when we didn't get the fire rod inside of Misery Meyer, but I forgot that we picked up the powder. So in a way, it was a fire-locked fire. Yeah, Seb having a much easier time getting those diver downs with the cane.
I'm kind of remembering he didn't need that key. He took the key from the front, so he didn't actually need to grab that key and diver down. So
we're gonna get the shovel check here. Oh, it's a big key. Oh, it's a swamp. There it is. P-Train being rewarded with that purple chest quest with just a map. Oh, we haven't seen the sick kid yet. We got our bottles late. Well, unfortunately, it looks like we're just getting 10 bombs off that. And look at this. Seb is heading over to ice.
Well, it looks like P-Train is going to be following.
Yeah, P-Train's going to have a little bit of an easier time because I'm not going to have to wait for all these bombos explosions to go off. Just going to be able to fire these freezors. Oh,
Or
and there,
Thieves
thieves'
big
town.
key. Hey.
So it's going to give us a couple more items in thieves. It's still not going to let us get to the big chest, unfortunately. So we still need one more small key for that to work out. But it will give us the dungeon clear, which again is the name of the game here.
So just looking at Seb's, tracker here, as long as he knows Harapot, he is good on his big keys. What are first GT small?
Yeah, I think P-Train might have picked up another one, or I thought we saw another one somewhere along the way. So
I know we saw the big key. I wasn't sure if yep, according to the tracker, we have seen once other small, so.
oh well, there's the book.
Literacy is important.
Yes, yeah. So the dreams of the blind pedestal pull is probably going to be tempered by the runners maybe reading the pedestal before they commit to the cutscene there.
Another GT small. Okay, there's a desert small key that we need to clear right side.
So yeah, in terms of keys, in order to finish the seed, we're gonna I think we're seeing we just need the turtle rock, a third turtle rock small, and then the second castle tower small. And I think that will, at least for the commentator's booth, we would know everything we need to know.
Yep.
And Desert Small is interesting here. Obviously, you didn't need that to finish Desert, but it does open up 2 more chests back in Desert if you go back there. Seb hasn't been there yet, so he'll be able to do all those together.
Alright, and we're gonna have both runners in cold stare at the same time.
Yep. Only difference here is P-Train's going to be able to save a couple of sword slashes with that butter sword.
And butter sword, and he's got the fire rod. Really make this fight free. So
Yeah, so you see, you can defeat Cold Stare before they even get a chance to escape. There's that second castle tower small.
that is good on P-Train's side. That may push him into Castle Tower, knowing that he can get to the second chest with no problem. So that is, what he needed to push him where we know he needs to go.
The question is, will he follow up? Will he listen to that gentle push and go there, or we go somewhere else? It looks like
We're gonna go clear all out. We've got the fire rod. We've got butter sword. We can steal a small key and just clear this out real quick. So I'm not surprised to see him going here. Again, fully clearable dungeon at this point. So
yeah, and you notice there, P-Train also did a very quick map check just to see what Eastern was and saw the third pendant being over there. And so imagine P-Train will read the ped when we walk by, since we have both mirror and book now.
yeah.
We have Seb now heading into Mire, getting all the goodies that are available there. Likely we'll get that ped read after we take care of the moth here, because we'll just mirror out, read the ped, and then flute away.
The last seed that I played had my boots on a pedestal, and I was like, come on, game. That's just not nice.
Yeah, Rando has a way of putting things in the worst possible locations. Wind up asking yourself, is this a plando?
Yeah, ended up doing the whole seed with no boots and no flute. The flute was behind my mushroom, and I never did find it, so... Funny to see the credits roll and be like, well, let's have the mushroom, and see that it was my flute and like start cussing, because it's just, come on.
Alright, P-Train on the moth here. 4 slashes, so long as the moth doesn't hit a spike immediately after getting slashed.
Okay, so this is what P-Train was a little bit worried about in race room chat. He looks like he may be having some internet issues. So hopefully it kind of catches back up here. If there's any issues with his internet, he is local recording, so he will have that recording if there's any questions. Hold Trace, yeah, it looks like he is offline now.
Oh, just... Of course, it was at the moment of anticipation here. We were just going to see. I wonder if we get the, obviously we're in slideshow mode right now, so hopefully we get the slide that tells us what's on the pad. It looks like we did not. So that will have to remain a mystery until Seb goes off to that area.
So looks like P-Train's probably headed back into Thievestown. That Thievestown big key makes sense.
Yep, there's the powder on Seb's side, which we know will bear fruit in the form of a Magic Bat Fire Rod later on.
Unfortunately, on P-Train's side, we will be orphaning one check here unless we find that small key here in its own dungeon. Yeah, chat thing, you could see P-Train going Dark Dust Mountain before dipping pod, possibly even before heading into Castle Tower. So definitely a play that he could make. We will just have to wait and see. The only 2 TR Smalls, I imagine he's not real interested in trying to go up there for TR. But you just never know what he's thinking.
Yeah, I mean, the 2 TR Smalls will get you all the way to Laser Bridge, and so that basically every item in the dungeon -1. Plus, you've got the Mimic Cave.
Yep.
And we haven't even touched Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave. So,
yeah.
So I mean, the density's there for that play to happen.
Alright, so
10 arrows there.
Multi on P-Train's side, so we're gonna just take the maiden back for the blind fight.
Okay, kind of got synced up boss fights here. Some nice information there from Blind. Meyer requires Ether, Quaker Bombos. Nice of Blind to narrow it down for us.
chat is saying that on P-Train's Void for Ped that it was just Couch Cash.
Ah, okay.
That's half magic there on P-Train's side.
Yeah, definitely won't say no to half magic, especially if the next play is indeed Turtle Rock.
Got that food out. Where are we headed?
I think we're turning in. We're turning in the desert small key. I think. See what 2 items are back there.
Yeah. Love that play, just mirroring there so you head in the front door without having to actually use the book.
Yeah, silly me would have just mirrored in the traditional spot and gone from the back door and ran all the way over. Ooh, big key of Hera, so that is going to open up a chest on the mountain, another chest on the mountain. So.
Yep. So there's 2 checks in Hera for P-Train since I didn't have a fire source to do base vent.
That's right. Yeah. So. Yeah, all signs are pointing to the mountain, and P-Train is going there.
Looks like we're going to be doing our either picking this portal at TR or possibly checking Hera first.
Yep. Oh, we also got the
Okay,
ether tablet. Yeah,
but I was just about to say that. So
yeah.
right as he hit the top, I was like, "Oh, right, tablet."
Probably do that on the way out.
Nice slime wall fight on sub side.
Yeah, Seb actually had a a rod, not the preferred fire rod, but the ice rod, but still has the same effect.
That is 6 dungeons down for Seb.
All right, P-Train's saying no to the Hera basement. Got way too many items over here on the east side. More important than that silly Hera basement.
Yeah, because one more key here on P-Train side, and he'll have a fully clearable TR as long as he can get in the front door, and he can.
Yep. Both dungeons were bombos, which was in Link's house. So all the other dungeon items or all the other medallions were completely unnecessary this time.
I'm surprised to see him going to check Super Bunny and Hookshot go first. Started picking up his Hera big key.
Oh, yet another pod small.
That pod 5 for
Yep,
I
I think that's the 5th one. It's definitely the 5th one we've seen on stream.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way.
Yep, tracker update does say that it is his 5th. Alright, nice red mail. Yeah, so Seb is also on the mountain. This will be his Heraclear and then probably his Dark Death Mountain checks as well.
Yeah, so the big question is, will Seb do the same play and leave the basement for later, or go ahead and take a look in that basement and see what's going on down there? So far, looking like a no. Guess the other thing that we're forgetting we need to remember is that there is a small key over there on that bumper ledge. Oh, there's our Thieves Town small. Thanks, game. So it's very possible that Turtle Rock could be holding our cape so that we could descend the mountain, pick up a third Turtle Rock small, and then return. Sounds about right for this randomizer.
Yeah, that would be a rando's gonna rando moment for sure. Yes, I totally forgot there that we do have that small key there, just kind of waiting to be discovered.
We're almost in go mode for P-Train. We need one more small key for Turtle Rock, which we do not know from here in the commentary booth where that might be located.
Alright, so we are getting Hera Basement on subside.
Yep, P-Train stealing that key, gonna orphan the lava chest in order to bit of a bargain here to make it all the way to Laser Bridge and see if perhaps we could score the third TR key on the Laser Bridge.
Yes, as Fishing Boo says, Fire Rod is behind Powder. So
yeah, Seb has not turned that in yet, and so we are up here Fire Rod less.
So just 10 arrows in the Hera Basement, so P-Train not missing out on anything there. More heart.
Yeah, the heart pieces are starting to show back up now. Now that we've collected all the heart containers.
16 hearts on P-Train's side, 15 on Seb's side.
Oh, there it is. There's the cape.
I think you cursed it.
Hey, it was rolled far before I said anything, so...
I don't remember if P-Train rolled this, or if Sub did, but
yeah, you'll know if I roll it because it'll be a 3-hour seed. But
did watch the longest open seed of the tournament so far at what was like 1 hour 54 minutes.
Oh,
which just was like not ending. It was brutal. So it'll be interesting to see if Seb chooses to dip into TR at all without that fire rod.
Oh, what is this? Oh, it's the Hyrule Castle small. Always a tease when you see a small key. Oh, we got another one.
Oh,
Skullwoods.
Two keys that we just don't need at this point. We've done Dark Cross in the Dark. We don't need any more Skullwoods.
Oh.
We get
the last pod small.
Oh, that is actually really unfortunate. for P-Train.
So keys that Seb needs. Seb also needs a third Turtle Rock Small, and that should be it
Yeah.
at this point. Here we go. P-Train is going to dip into pod without the big key. Now that he has all 6 of the keys, so we'll be able to get 12 out of 14 checks in here. Now I wonder if P-Train remembers to mirror back and pick up Sahasra's trinket. Looks like we're going to save that for later.
Alright, so Seb is in Turtle Rock. So P-Train not losing any time as they'll both be double dipping it. But unfortunately, P-Train losing gonna lose quite a bit of time here double dipping the pod. So unless there is something in the big key chest here, which he can pick up, which Seb was unable to. So, oh, we're gonna get a hover.
Yeah.
Was
This
not
is
sure.
a very difficult one to get because you got to get the rail. Oh, it's almost.
Definitely impressive when they can get that hover. It is. Everybody says it's the hardest hover in the game. You have to do that 90-degree turn and halfway through it. So.
Yeah, it's hard enough to hover in one direction. To have to make a direction turn halfway through it is just nigh impossible for most mortal men and women.
P-Train skipping, frame skipping again. Luckily for us, we've seen all these checks. So nothing to worry about. We know, that he'll get his Eastern big key here. And I think that's it.
Yeah, I think we even saw the harmless hellway on Seb's side. We know that that's not going to be anything of huge consequence.
Right, and there is the cape on Seb's side.
So yeah, this will be interesting to see where Seb decides to go after this, because basically Seb's got no reason to go back to pod at this point. I mean, Seb will pick up the last couple of keys, or has picked up the 5th key, and will pick up the 6th key here pretty soon, so might be thinking of going back later, but I think probably the more pressing thing might be to check up on that cape.
Yeah, he also has clearable Thieves Town. If he heads back there, that may push him into Magic Bat sooner rather than later. So. Time for all the keys to troll Seb.
Yep, something is missing, P-Train. Yeah, that's just muscle memory.
Yeah, 100%. There is the Eastern Big Key for P-Train, and that it was the last check that he has available. So he's going to mirror and go clear Eastern.
Yeah, so the real big question here is what will happen first? Will Seb go turn in the powder for the fire rod, or will P-Train go start climbing Castle Tower for the pod big key? That's going to be... Those are the big decisions that we're going to have to figure out. Or will either the runners find that third Turtle Rock small key that they need to finish Turtle Rock?
See what Spike Cave has, and it's
Key.
key to
Turtle Rock.
Right, unfortunately, Sub still can't clear it. But
Yeah.
that is his go mode. Once he or so not quite yet. He needs to keep
It's
his fire
it's
rod.
our no mode.
Yes.
It looks like we're diving back into the dark world here.
And we're gonna get a ped check. Seb has not done the ped check, so he's gonna go do that first before he dives back into the dark world.
Yeah, you got to be thinking that Seb's like that could be my fire rod, and I'm gonna feel kind of silly if I find out it's fire rod later on. Yeah, we're just gonna blind pull it because we
blind pull. Good job, Seb.
The three pendants go into the sky as we find our 20 rupees of destiny. What were you saying just a moment ago about what you found on bed?
So, for those who aren't familiar with this mode as much, that green 20 represents our boots. It doesn't. There's no logic as to where it gets placed because since we start with boots, but that means that on the seed, boots were actually on pedestal.
All right. Well, P-Train is also going to be cleaning up some loose ends here in the form of the green pendant turn-in. Just for $20.
So I'm going to get that small key off Bumper Ledge.
Yeah, at this point, we know that no more keys are required, but Seb doesn't quite know that. In Seb's mind, it could be whatever keys this could be a key that's locking me from being able to get my fire rod. So,
yeah, and it looks like P-Train also headed there.
Nope, there it is. That's the fourth turtle. So P-Train's going to be able to clear Turtle Rock after this, because that's going to be the third Turtle Rock key.
P-Train at this point really just needs to get into Castle Tower sooner rather than later, but Seb has his mirror out. It looked like he was headed... Oh no, he's headed to Thieves Town, right? He still has to finish that.
Yeah. Alright, so what's going to happen here? We got the Turtle Rock Small. What does P-Train do? We're going to save and quit and then go... Probably... Yeah, we're going back up the mountain. We're going to... We're considering...
Thinking about it.
Yeah, do we go...
Oh, almost.
Almost, yeah. No, I think what P-Train's thinking here is let's go finish Turtle Rock because that's our other 5-6 crystal, and then we'll get the big bomb, and then we'll go to Castle Tower once we're next to the pyramid.
That is a good thought. I was not thinking about the fact that TR is our second red crystal. So
yeah, and unfortunately, question chant, did we save the portal? Unfortunately, we did not save the portal. Alright, now over here on Seb's side, we're going to be finishing up Thieves Town, and then the only thing Seb need to do is Skull Woods, and Turtle Rock, which, so now that's... He's going to be bottlenecked into something, but the question is which far off check is it going to be? So
Right. I mean, you would think with Powder being here and him getting kind of running out of checks that he can do without that fire rod. I think I'd be really surprised to see him kind of do a far off check without checking Magic Bat right away here. So
yeah, likely going to kind of loop it all in with the Smith sequence, and then we'll get the fire rod, and we'll promptly abandon the Smith. I anticipate here.
yes. He'll drop him off at his house, he stops following him, and then that'll be the end of it. Unless he just saves and quits. But we'll see.
Alright, got a good flying kill over there on Seb's side. P-Train working his way through TR for the second time.
Yep, Sed is heading to start that Smith chain. We'll see if he does hammer pegs. Yep, looks like he's going to, so he'll get his fourth sword.
So interesting to see how these runners converge, because you're in P-Tray situation. We're going to go through this whole sequence, and we're going to wind up in Castle Tower. We're going to find that second Castle Tower small. Is P-Train going to finish Castle Tower at that time? I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think you have to. I think you're already there. You know you're going to have to finish it. Anyway, kind of, unfortunately puts that out of what they were hoping for. But I think at that point you just finish it and then do your pod run. And then your GT run. So
yeah, so it just makes this. You like to see runners being nice and close to each other and being necking that going up. But the problem is what that'll mean is that P-Train will enter GT with the Castle Tower already cleared, and then Seb will be entering GT yet to do CT. So that's it's going to make it interesting to see how these two runners are going to come together. They won't come together until the very, very, very end.
But at 1 hour, 26 minutes, 55 seconds, that is go mode for Seb.
All right. Make it happen. Of course, as anticipated, we see P-Train heading this direction. So we will probably very soon be able to say the same thing about P-Train.
Okay, so I've headed to Skull Woods. Of course, makes the most sense here. The only thing that either runner would be looking for at this point would be silvers, just to make Ganon easier. But of course, these runners of this caliber can just spin to win, no problem.
Yeah, we saw Seb also opting to pick up the Butter Sword there during the Smith sequence, and so with Butter Sword, yeah, silverless Ganon is not going to be any problem at all.
You never pass that Butter Sword. Alright, P-Train hadn't checked the ledge yet, so he sees that that's where his red boomerang was.
Says no thank you, and here we go. Here's the Castle Tower.
17th full heart there on P-Train side.
Yeah, you wonder what his face is looking like when he picks up the when he picks up the second Castle Tower small right here in this chest. You mean it was here the whole time?
It's not even so much like knowing what it's that if that's there. I think the biggest um, you know moments for him is going to be when he opens his chest and gets that pod big.
Yeah. And I think the moment P-Train picks up that second small key, it's like, okay, we're doing this now, and then we're gonna worry about the rest later.
Yeah. So that is what, about 1 hour 29 minutes, give or take, probably 5 seconds. That's go mode for P-Train. So
Yep. So you can't really consider this CT as being a differentiator because Seb's gonna have to do it anyway. But so now it's the question of what's gonna be faster: Seb doing Turtle Rock or P-Train finishing off Pod.
nice. Lure in there on P-Train side to get both those guards at the same time.
This is where NMG experience really comes in handy. All right, well, obviously we have the GT big key, so we're not going to be able to play that game when we get over to GT, but what game we can play is how many blue balls is Aga going to be sending our way? So go anywhere between 0 and 15.
I'm gonna say 4.
Let's go with 6. Make this a little, that'll make the runners sweat it out a little bit. All right, there's our first one. There's number 2. It's always interesting to see what runners do to pass the time during those lightning sequences.
Yeah.
P-Train opting for the boomerang. I'm a fan of the hook shot myself. Well, it looks like we might be behind. I think we're... Oh, there's our third one.
Should be down to the last hit here. So it looks like 3 is going to be the number.
Yep. So those of you that said 3, congratulations. You win a lifetime supply of randomizer seeds.
And for those wondering why the runners like to do EGA 1 last, it's because EGA 1, after you finish EGA 1, it gives you a refill of both your hearts and your magic. That way you can drop into Ganon with full hearts and magic, because beating EGA 2 does not refill you.
Plus, it's also convenient, after you do AGA 2, you're right there on top of the pyramid. You can just mirror right back to the AGA 1. So.
Yep. Yeah, and then beating AGA 1 puts you right back there with you ready to drop in, so.
It's kind of the same thing around, like, wanting to make Tower of Hera your 7th crystal.
Yep.
It's like, it can't always work out that way, but it sure is nice when it does.
Alright, so Seb has killed Trinex. So that is all of the dungeons done for Seb, and we will be headed to Ganon's Tower.
Well, all the dungeons, save 1.
Yes. Oh, he's got all the dungeons down. Now he just has 2 towers he's got to do.
That's right. Yeah, I think P-Train was a little irritated. The NMG strat in this room is to be at full hearts so that when you hammer the little pegs down in the next room, you can use your sword beam to hit the crystal switch. And bonking on that spike there has removed the sword beams. It's all right. Just a quick swap over to one of the ice rod or fire rod and get the same effect.
Alright,
Nice.
so set into GT at about 1:34:10. So we'll see what time P-Train gets up there. It's kind of a kind of rough indicator of where they are, knowing that Seth still has like 4 minutes or whatever for Castle Tower.
I will point out this is an excellent choice for this MSU for the GT climb. Battle at the Brig Bridge.
Alright, so that is pod done for P-Train, so he just has Ganon's tower left. Seb into the gauntlet.
Yeah, so at this point, Seb on the timer. Nice gauntlet so far. Making excellent use of the fire rod with the half magic there to get rid of some of those enemies. On to Lammo 2.
Got that fire rod out. This one's a hard one to hit double fire rod shots.
Yeah, especially with that fireball spitter in the corner, just ready to snipe you.
It was an unfortunate dead rock. On P-Train's side does run, so they are no longer on the screen to get them reset.
Seb missing the quick heal here on the Wizrobes 2, but gets it on the backup there. Okay, so at this point,
P-Train entering for about 3 minutes behind Seb, so yeah, this is close. I believe that this puts P-Train technically in the lead based on how long it's going to take Seb to climb Castle Tower.
Yeah, CT is probably by itself 3 minutes, and then you've got the Aiga fight at the end of it. So, Seb checking the last few chests here, seeing if we can maybe pull a rabbit out of the hat in the form of silver arrows, but
yep,
no luck.
Right,
yeah, unfortunately, not here at the top of the tower. So we'll get the hint during the Ganon fight to see exactly where those wound up being.
We opened the validation chest. So run is, valid. Unfortunately, does not have what Seb was hoping for. I'm guessing that silvers are just somewhere in the basement.
That was a nice triple, just counterfeited by the fact that 2 energy balls hit Dagger 2 at once. So it probably only counted as a 2 hit there.
Just a 1 there.
Yeah, Seb feeling free to use the cape and use all the all the magic, knowing that there's a refill awaiting at the end of the castle tower climb.
Nice 2-cycle there for Venmo 2 on P-Train side. So does get the Ganon drop down opened. And we'll see him immediately mirror over. Yeah, P-Train also having quite a bit cleaner climb here than Sub did.
So good on Seb for remembering that the chest in this room has already been checked, and there's no need to muscle memory your way over to where that chest is.
Alright, so P-Train's not even bothering to check for silvers. He's just going for it.
Just might open the post Mordorm chest here.
Yeah, he might open this validation chest. We'll see. And Jordan Runners open it just for the memes. Yep. Run valid on both sides. Yeah. Sub also definitely not having as clean a castle tower as P-Train did, so yeah, it gets that double on P-Train side.
The double that should be a triple, but just isn't because of the way the game's coded.
Yep. Alright.
There it is.
2-1-1-2 there. Sub unfortunately still has Ego 1 to defeat, and P-Train will be dropping in here to kill Ganon.
Yeah, and we already know that Seb's going to be facing 3 blue balls in this fight, so it's probably going to take about a minute and a half before. Of course, when you're at this stage of the game, that minute feels like half an hour.
Yeah.
Yep, 6 slashes to move us into phase 2. P-Train just going to do some dash poke stats here, 6 of those to finish phase 2. On to phase 3. My tower, yep.
So as expected.
Just another. Did we get one there at the beginning? So I think we're 3 down and 9 to go on the spins.
Right,
Setting up some nice triples.
The Seb drop again to start his Ganon fight.
We'll say a remarkably close race, given how divergent these 2 runners at routes were throughout the entire seed.
Yeah, definitely a nice close race here at the end. I think definitely came down to a little bit of execution.
Yep, that's going to do it.
Yep, so P-Train just has to cross the bridge and will move to 3-2 in group stage. And this is Seb's, like we said, this is Seb's first race, so move to 0-1.
Yeah, so get those GGs in chat.
Yes, we have an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 43 minutes, and 37 seconds. As we will watch Seb finish out his Ganon Tower fight here, and then we will invite the runners in to chat if they want, if they so choose. So looks like we do have P-Train in the waiting room, so we'll just finish the Seb fight before we start chatting.
Just a few more spins here.
Yep. Yes, I'm having a pretty clean Ganon fight here.
Setting up good triples. So this should be the last cycle. And there it is.
There it is. Get your GGs in chat for Sab as he will cross the bridge here. Again, they are on delay, so we know the time already. We have an official race time of 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 55 seconds. So
just over a minute between the two runners.
So GG's to both runners. We do have P-Train in chat with us. Welcome in, P-Train. GG's.
GG's.
So that was exciting race to watch. So give us your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I felt real bad after Aga Tower. I mean, I don't know. Like after Thieves, I was just kind of hoping for like some kind of direction between Pod or the mountain, and I ultimately went with the density on the mountain. Did everything but the one check I really needed to do, which was Spike Cave. Apparently, I don't like Spike Cave.
Well, interestingly enough, that Spike Cave contained the other Turtle Rock small key that you didn't. We were laughing about that because the two Turtle Rock small keys were both in Spike Cave, and then of course the other one was right there on Bumper Ledge after finding the cape in Turtle Rock. So of course the game having its way of making some jokes.
No, I feel like probably the best thing, like in my situation, the best thing I really could have done after Turtle Rock was go to Hera, do the basement, and then do Spike Cave, so that way I save my portal. And then I end up doing Castle Tower before doing Pod. So that's probably because I mean you're doing Pyramid Fairy anyways. You of course you're going to mirror and do those two checks in Castle Tower. So
yeah. When you made the call to go up the mountain and make those checks, that's what we were anticipating. What would wind up happening is because if you come back and finish it, you get your 5-6, and then that just makes that whole chain a lot more smoother. But we knew you'd feel bad. Now your opponent Seb, on the other hand, interesting. Skipped left side swamp initially, and you remember what you found over there?
Yeah, that was Mitts.
That's right. So.
Granted, I also had some bad times with left side swamp. Part 2, trying to get those checks in. So.
Yeah, we were noticing that you were down to one bomb, and and so you're in the situation, the pressure's on. That's a tricky bomb diver down to get, and we're really feeling bad for you at that point.
Yeah, I felt like I feel like maybe I psyched myself out because I felt like the lineup was good, but maybe I was just holding down a direction, just trying too hard to get it right. You just do things that you don't usually do.
Mm-hmm.
But because I bounced into the rail, but then I went down a pixel. I was like, oh, that's not right. And sure enough, I bounced out of the rail, and I was like, well, we got to figure this out.
Yeah, but I mean, you made the best of the situation, and you stuck to it, which was definitely the right call, finding those myths. And so, of course, that sent you pretty much everywhere else except Castle Tower. So that was kind of the unfortunate thing, is your opponent wound up making it to Castle Tower early, finding that nice trolley Castle Tower small in its vanilla location before getting the real linchpin, which was that pod big right afterward.
Yeah, I mean, for the most, I never really felt like I had a good opportunity to go to Castle Tower. I feel like probably the best opportunity I had to do it was after Swamp. Because at that point, I knew Turtle Rock was a 5-6. Turtle Rock needs a lot of items before you can clear it, and even more to one more to put it in logic. So at that point, that should have been my hint that Pyramid Fairy is not guaranteed to be convenient. So probably just as a safety, let's go ahead and knock out Pyramid to Catfish. And of course, I had the mirror, so that would have been one check in Castle Tower, which would have given me the second check, which would have given me Pod Big.
Yeah.
So
of course, the other thing that was limiting, limiting the whole train here, unfortunately, was the fire rod there behind the powder. Your opponent Seb got the powder out of Meyer, but really put off doing the smith chain, which really delayed the fire rod. Basically got down to almost second to last location check on that, because pretty much did everything else except Goldwoods and the last couple checks in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I felt like the beginning of this was really like complementing my style of routing. Like, not saying I'm smart or anything, but just the way I play the game. I felt like the seed was very kind to me, at least toward the beginning there.
It's always nice when the game puts the items in the places you want to go.
Yeah, like you enter the Dark World with a dungeon to clear, and it's all dungeons. So of course you clear the dungeon. I get mitts, which gives me access to desert, so that's another dungeon I can clear. After that, I had ice, but I didn't have a big key, didn't have a small key, didn't have Cane of Samaria. So I'm like, all right, well let's do this overworld stuff that I'm probably gonna do anyways. And I find the Cane of Samaria in Skull, and then I find the Ice Palace big key in Thieves Town. So I was like, oh, that's perfect. Let's go to Ice now. And like for the most part, like I just always felt like I had something to do until I cleared Thieves Town, and it's like, all right, well, do I go to Pod or do I go to the mountain? I can't do either of them, and I just kind of gambled on the mountain having either the Pod big key or the Eastern Palace big key, or even the CT small. I would have taken that, and it just had literally nothing. And after that, I just proceeded to make all the wrong decisions, but it worked out in the end. But yeah, there was definitely a better there was a definite better route there after Turtle Rock that I missed.
Yeah, it was amazing how close this wound up being after the amazing divergence that the two of you had, each searching for a key item that eluded both of you. One thing we did notice back in Meyer, we were curious if this is something you've timed out. So the last chest that you traditionally get in Meyer when you're not looking for big keys in modes like this is that one that's over there on the bridge. You went down the stairs and then came back up. Is that reset the spawn to be shorter?
No, that was, I forgot about the chest.
Okay, all right. We were
Yeah,
wondering if it was the former or the latter. We tried to give you the benefit of the doubt that it was like, oh, maybe it is faster, but
no. I mean, it may be. Who knows? I feel like if it was, someone would have figured that one out by now. So
okay.
probably not.
Well, fortunately, it's not that big of a deal to just walk right back up and hook shot over and get it.
All right.
No, I will say, yeah, I just will say, just in general, like Meyer and Key Sanity, like I always forget that you can route it like 100 different ways. Like I'm very lucky not to have just done the item rando route where you do the bridge chest first. It's not the fastest way, but it's just the way that I'm used to. And yeah, Meyer always trips me up when I'm routing in 80 keys.
Yeah, I also got to remember whether or not you have the hook shot too.
Yeah. But no, all in all, fun seed. Glad to have won this. I also felt like, I mean, I'm not going to say like I played amazing. I mean, obviously I made bad choices, but I felt like my gameplay was pretty solid. My other races up until this point haven't been so convincing. If anyone caught my cross hunt race versus Jesse, you know exactly what I just lost less in that race. So, and that's how like every race has felt. It just feels like I'm just shooting myself in the foot every time I do a tournament race. But this one felt cozy, felt comfortable. Didn't make all the correct calls, but I felt like my gameplay was solid. So, I'm glad to win.
we were noticing that at the end there. So both of you were winding up doing the castle tower climb a bit late, and I think we saw some of your NMG experience shining through in some of the ways you read at the rooms.
Yeah, it felt good. But GG's to Seb, and I know he didn't join the interview, but crazy race. I'm glad that it ended up being as close as it did. Given the left side, I'll say this for those of you who don't check the race room, but I did have a brief back and forth with him where he told me he skipped left side swamp, and I was like, man, that's a bold play in this seed, and he was like, yeah, well, that boldness got me pretty far. And then I thought about it. I'm like, for this race to have been as close as it was with the left side swamp skip, he's got a point. He's got a very valid point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Eventually getting bottlenecked back into it because those mitts, they open up so much stuff, right? So
Yeah.
and then
I mean,
now
if you
you're
had
committed to doing all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you had to skip an item, that's probably one of them that you want to skip, like mitts, a hammer, or something like that. Well, you can't skip a hammer in left side swamp, but
Yeah, but the principle still applies, right?
yeah,
If you wind up skipping something that's really holding you back from doing other things, you do wind up, your opponent winds up going chasing a bunch of different branches, whereas you may wind up in a situation where you only have a few to chase by the time you get there.
yeah. But no, I enjoyed it. Appreciate the restream. Thank you for the commentary. Thank you, Sacred
Yeah.
Jets and Fishing Boo for tracking. Really appreciate you all. And I think I'm gonna head off and cook some dinner.
Yeah, no, thank you
Mhm.
for putting on a great show for us. So again, go ahead and follow the runners. We've got the links there in the chat. P Train and Seb, give them a follow. Also, again, follow outs, shout outs to our trackers, and Socrates and Fishing Boo. And again, thank you to my co-commentator Rocky. So it was great to comment with you this fine evening.
Yes, thank you, Chris. Well, it was fun. This was, like I said, this was my first time doing main tournament. I've done other tournaments for the last couple of years, so great time getting my first main tournament in, and it's been great commentating with you, Chris. Well, thank you for everything tonight, and it was fun.
Yep. Right. And once again, we'll remind everyone, go ahead and follow the Speed Gaming network of channels. That's Speed Gaming, what you're watching now, and then of course Speed Gaming 2 through 8. So
Yes, we hit lots more main tournament races. So keep an eye out for all of those. But have a great night, everyone.